Hey guys, Dr. Mandell here. This is a live stream, and this live stream is going to be dynamite for everyone. That's right. We are going to be able to find the right physiology that's good for our body, and we're going to go right into it. So we can teach you how to burn fat. Millions of people worldwide have a serious problem today due to poor diet, and beyond diet, poor knowledge. So my job today is to really get into the nuts and bolts. I'm really going to move hard. I know you got a lot of chatters in here, but again, this video will be pre-recorded as those people listening right now. If it is pre-recorded and you're listening, I want to thank you for listening to the video, but I'm going to go right into it because one of the most and easiest things about weight loss and fat loss and burning fat are not diets. Diets are not the way to burn fat. A diet is a temporary way to lose weight and to maybe gain a goal, but it's not a way of life. So if you are a vegetarian, that's not a diet. If you are doing a keto diet and that is your style, then that's not a diet. That's just a way of life that you are living in. So let's move on real quick because I have a lot of great things to present to you as well and explain. I'm going to show you a few exercises, live exercises from a previous video from Joey, Coach Joey. And the first thing that I want you to understand, when it comes to burning fat, it's a matter of calories in and calories out. If your body is burning more calories than what you're taking in, you're going to lose fat. You're going to lose weight. There's no such thing as spot reduction, but wherever the most fat is within your body will search like little Pac-Mans and search for that extra fat and help burn it. So I'm going to keep things very superficial, very elementary, and very easy to understand. So when you look back at this video or share it with others, which I ask you to, you're going to be doing them a great asset. So we know that if calories taken in is more than what we burn, then we're going to have a problem. Let's first go to this simple chart right here. 1 pound of fat, as you can see here, 1 pound of fat equals 3,500 calories. So to lose a pound of fat in 1 week, you would need to create a deficit of 500 calories per day. All right? So let's skip around. I want you to learn what labels are. This is really important. We need to look at the labels because we need to understand what we're taking in our body. Our macronutrients are our carbohydrates, our fats and proteins. If you look at the carbohydrates and proteins to the right, you'll see that each carb and protein is only 4 calories per gram. 1 gram is 4 calories. And a fat is over twice the amount. So 1 gram of fat is 9 calories. But do not think that I don't want to eat fat because it's too many calories. So hold on. I will explain that a little later. Now look all the way to the left. You look to the left, you see a total of fat of 8 grams. Saturated fats 1 gram, trans fats 0 grams. Make sure that when you're eating your foods, you don't want those trans fats. That's what gets converted into cholesterol and triglycerides. That's what causes clogging of the arteries. You don't want that. Cholesterol is very low, which is good too as well. But whatever you see, those fats, those 8 grams, if you multiply those 8 grams by 9, that's 72 calories. That's how many calories of fat. If you look at the total carbs, it's 37 grams, which is a lot. And you multiply that by 4, that's how many total calories you have of carbs. And if you look at the 3 grams of protein, okay, then you multiply that by 4, that you're only getting 12 calories of protein. And when you add all those up, you're going to get your total calories. Now, this will show you the sodium levels, the cholesterol levels, saturated fat and trans fats, as well as included sugars. So you look at the total carbs and you go below there, it says includes 10 grams of added sugars. That's where we need to be careful. So you need to make sure that if you're eating sugar, it's okay to have sugar as long as it's in a whole state. But when something's enriched and refined and it's taken out, because they're refining the food and they're adding sugar back in, that's where it's dangerous. Extra sugar turns into fat because sugar needs glucose to be assimilated into the cells. And if you have too much glucose going on in your body, the insulin levels are going to spike. And what's that's going to happen is you're going to retain more fat because you're not going to have enough storage where it's going to store in the glycogen of the muscle or the liver. It's going to get stored in the fat. That's visceral fat. That's dangerous fat. That's the fat that causes diabetes, metabolic syndrome, high blood pressure, and heart disease. Okay? So that's the first thing. So we understand that. Now, the next step is that I want you to understand one of the greatest ways that you're going to burn fat is that you need to build lean muscle. Now, what is lean muscle? Lean muscle is muscle. Lean body weight is muscle. You hear lean body weight, lean muscle, it's muscle. We have amino acids that make up muscle. And muscle is important because muscle, think of it as a furnace, that when that muscle is at rest, it requires more energy to sustain that muscle. And that means the body has to burn more calories. So the unfortunate part is that after the age of 30 years of age, we start losing muscle. And as we lose muscle, and if you're not retaining or exercising to sustain muscle, you're going to continue to lose more lean body weight. That means lower metabolism. So the greatest thing that we can do as we get older, whatever exercises we do with our legs, whatever exercise you like, or light weights or aerobics, you don't have to lift heavy weights to retain muscle and build muscle. But building muscle is the key, because when it comes to protein, that's the next step, that I will tell you that if you eat more protein through the day, you're going to burn more calories. Why? It's also going to make you more satiated. It's going to keep you more full. Why? Because the body requires more energy to sustain, to break down protein as it does as compared to carbohydrates or fats. That's just a fact. That's just science. So protein is good. The other good thing about protein is that if you don't have the protein in your body, that means whatever protein you have in your muscle, you potentially can lose, because those amino acids that's making up those proteins are the same amino acids that your muscles need within your body. You with me? Okay, good. The next thing. Okay. I need you to understand the difference between a simple carbohydrate and a complex carbohydrate. The simple carbohydrates are dangerous. These are the sugars, the enriched flours, all these, and I'm going to show you in just a second. But these simple carbohydrates get into your bloodstream too quick. They get into the cells. This is when insulin spikes up. Complex carbohydrates like potatoes and grains will never spike up. It sustains normal insulin levels. Now, there is what we call a glycemic index chart, and that's what I want to pull up next with you. So here's a glycemic index. If you look at the glycemic index, these are primarily measuring the amount of sugar spikes that's going to happen within your bloodstream. If you look, anything under 55 is good. Medium is okay. 56 to 69, as it gets above there, it's high, which is not good. So let's look here. Does this look familiar? The worst food that we can put in our body, which is hidden all over the supermarkets, is corn syrup. That's right. Look how high that corn syrup is. That is toxic, it's poison, and it will kill you if you have enough of it. So right away, this will put you in a insulin-resistant, pre-diabetic, and diabetic state if you continue to live on corn syrup. White sugar, 68. Agave nectar, 10. Honey, 55, still medium. Maple syrup, still medium. And molasses, still medium. So now let's get out of here and go back to this. So I want you to look at these foods. I'm not going to spend time on it, but I want you to understand that you see those fruits there, the best fruits that you could eat that are the lowest glycemic, that even all keto, paleo, any diet can be on this, are your berries, your strawberries, your raspberries, your blueberries, raspberries, blueberries, blackberries, strawberries. Those are the key ones. You with me? So the berries are high in fiber. That means that it will sustain normal insulin levels. Remember, when insulin goes high, that's when your body stores fat. If you keep your insulin levels moderate, low, sustained, you won't continue to store body fat. That is very important. Okay, next thing. I don't want you thinking that because fat is over twice the amount of calories as compared to carbohydrates or proteins, I don't want you to think that I don't want to eat fat. I want you to eat fat. I want you to eat good fats. I'm not talking about the bacons. I'm not talking about the heavy saturated poisonous fats. I'm not talking about the fats with all the sulfites in it. I'm talking about like avocados, olive oils, olives, all those good fats your peanuts, your nuts are all good fats. You'll hear many cardiologists just rave about nuts, how good it is for the heart. The monounsaturated fats, guess what? Not only will protein help keep you satiated, but so will fats. So if you start eating fats, avocados, spread it out with your meals throughout the day, you're going to feel satiated. You're not going to feel full. And therefore, you're not going to eat as much. You're not going to crave sugars, because if you continue to eat sugars, because they get digested and assimilated so fast in the cells that your body just falls right down and you get this sleepy feeling, you're stressing many organs in your body. But as fast as it goes up and as fast as it assimilates, that's how fast you crave it. That's how fast you're going to crave it. So if you're craving something, that's because it's getting digested so fast. And the other reason why you're craving it is because there's no nutrients in there. There's nothing vital that's important for the health or wealth of your body. So if your body can't utilize it, it's going to crave more that your brain is saying sugar, because it is an addiction. Okay? So we need to cut our sugars, and we got to be very careful about those added sugars. Sugar is good. It's okay in the whole state. Like those fresh fruits, your vegetables, that's good. If you have sugar with fiber, you're good. Fiber sustains normal insulin and sugar levels and is very healthy. There's a lot of people out there who are just on this keto diet and they said, no, sugars are not good. That's not true. That's not true. You still need to exercise. You still need to eat well, still need to hydrate. But as long as you're getting it from Mother Nature and you're eating the right kind of sugars with the right foods, I think you're going to do real well. The next thing I want to mention is called HIIT, H-I-I-T, high interval intensity training. And this is when we exercise, if it's doing jumping jacks, if it's doing a couple exercises, and you do that exercise for a minute to a minute and a half, then maybe rest for about 30 seconds to a minute, then do it again for a minute, and you rest in between. Studies have found that will burn the most belly fat, the most fat in your body, the most fat burned than any exercise that done to man. They say that high interval intensity training is one of the best. So let's go for 4 videos. This is Coach Joey. We did another video previous together. I pulled this video out. Let's look at this for about 15 seconds each to give you an idea of things that you can do at home without going to a gym. Okay? So let's go to Coach Joey right here.
All right, here we go. Air squat, feet shoulder width, 10 and 2, hands out. We're going to shoot those hips out, push those legs out. We'll get nice and parallel. All our weights on that mid-foot heel. We're going to drive on up and squeeze our glutes.
So as we do that, we're going to do that repetitively, as fast or as slow as you can do it to get your heart rate up. Then after, you'll stop, and then you can do it again. And you also can implement, obviously, different exercises. I'm just giving you an example of some that you can do. Here is one, the same exercise, if you can't squat all the way down, because maybe you're a little older, have bad knees, so you can use a little bench or a chair. This is how it works.
All right, let's go through the modified air squat. Once again, feet shoulder width, feet point out, 10 and 2. I'm about 6 inches to a foot away from my bench, my chair, my box, whatever. Here I'm gonna hold my hands out straight, shoot my hips out, push those legs out, tap that seat, drive up through the mid-foot heels, and squeeze those glutes.
Okay, here's another great exercise you could do on the floor. Just bringing your legs back and forth like you're crawling or climbing. Take a look at this one.
All right, next let's go over the mountain climb. We're gonna go back into tall plank position. That's right, hands underneath our shoulders. In essence, what we want to happen is our knee passes the midline, that front foot touches the ground, and then we're gonna alternate legs, front foot touch, back foot extends, and we're gonna continue right here in our mountain climber.
And for those people that can't get on the ground, here's an alternative way for you.
Let's go over modified mountain climbers. We can use, once again, a couch, a table, a bench, whatever it may be. We're gonna go a little elevated. And what we're gonna do is still hands underneath the shoulders. I'm still engaging my core here. I'm gonna drive this knee up, drive this knee up, alternate, drive the knee up, drive the knee up. We can go low impact here as well, driving that knee up, engaging the core for the modified mountain climber.
So you're going to pick different exercises. You're going to do this for a minute or so if you're a beginner. As you continue to do this, as you rest, maybe half the amount, even the same amount of time, and as you continue to get more endurance, you can go a little bit longer and build yourself up to 10 minutes or 15 minutes continuous. One of the best ways to burn fat, lose calories, and strengthen your heart. The next thing I want to mention is about sleep. For those who are not getting enough sleep, you are going to have a problem losing weight, because of the fact it's going to throw off your circadian rhythm, it's going to throw off your metabolism, and it's going to be hard for your body to retain, to be able to burn that fat. So I do recommend to try to get your sleep, because you've got a lot of things happening within your brain, a lot of neurochemicals happening that affects the rest of your body. And so instead of going to the physiology of it, I'll just tell you that if you get your sleep, you're going to actually burn fat a lot easier. Another video, I'll go into the reasons why. The other thing I wanted to mention was intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is when you'll eat during a certain period of time, generally maybe from 2 or 3 in the afternoon, maybe till 8 o'clock. You'll pick your time. Some people do it 6 hours, 8 hours, and the other 16 hours or 14 hours or 18 hours, or difference that they do, they're not eating. What this does, it puts your body into a fasting mode where it's called autophagy. And what the autophagy does, it cleans up the cells, the debris, that it's kind of like cleansing your own body. But by doing this, many people have lost weight because of the fact that intermittent fasting is not necessarily better in losing weight, even though many will disagree with me. But what intermittent fasting does, it prevents you from overeating. You become more satiated. And I do recommend that people who intermittent fast, make sure you're getting lots of good fat, because the fat will keep you very satiated, and it will digest a lot slower where it exits out the transit time out of the stomach. So that was that. Let me just see the next thing. If I forgot to show you something, we reviewed that. Okay, just a few things I want to summarize now. Very important things, just some little key things. Number one, soluble fiber. I want to make sure that all you are getting soluble fiber. Soluble fiber actually brings the bad cholesterol, gets rid of it. Soluble fiber keeps you full. Soluble fiber cleanses your colon. It will prevent constipation. Your soluble fiber are your chia seeds, your flax seeds, your fruits, your avocados, great soluble fiber. Your berries are great soluble fiber. And I highly recommend you're all getting your soluble fiber. Stay away from those foods that are trans fats that I mentioned to you before. That will cause lots of health problems. I won't even go into that. Make sure you're being aware of the alcohol, and eating your protein foods like your meats, your fish, eggs, your dairy, your whey protein, your beans, your legumes are all very, very good. High protein intake increases fullness, that hormone PYY it's called, and it decreases your appetite, and that will definitely help you lose weight by going on more protein. You want to reduce your cortisol levels. That means your stresses, because when we're under stress, our cortisol levels go up, and that's going to make us retain more fat. Stay away from the sugary foods, as I said, as well as those foods, those the drinks, the fructoses. Whenever you're drinking fruits, make sure it's mixed with the fiber, because if you're just drinking straight fructose, it's very, very unhealthy for the liver, can cause fatty liver, and it's a quick, high glycemic index, and it will get assimilated into your cells real quickly. So I also recommend you go on Google and Google simple sugars versus complex sugars, and we'll show you the difference. The complex sugars assimilate much slower, and that will sustain normal insulin levels, and that will allow you to burn more fat. So we talked about refined carbs, those things you find in the boxes, mainly in the center of the grocery stores. All the good stuff is on the outside. The fruits, the vegetables, your creams, whatever you use, all the healthy stuff is on the outside of the grocery stores, and in the aisles is where a lot of the problems are. So don't be afraid to use those fats, those good fats, those olive oils. All those oils are really, really good for you, and they're extremely, extremely important. So make sure you're getting your sleep, get some exercise, do what you enjoy. I'm a big believer, in order to lose fat and to keep your body healthy, Omega-3s. Omega-3s are good for every cell in your body. They're good for your brain, your eyes, your heart, your blood vessels. It prevents clogging. Your salmon, your herring, your sardines, your mackerel, your anchovies, or if you're a vegetarian, you can find other ways to get it. And you know me with apple cider vinegar, right? Apple cider vinegar, start drinking it. It will help you burn fat. Why? Because it will make you more satiated. If you drink apple cider vinegar 10, 15 minutes before your carb meal, it's going to prevent the carbs from spiking. It will lower your insulin level. If you're diabetic, it will help you tremendously. If you're pre-diabetic, it will help you. If you're insulin resistant, it will help you. I'm telling you, the acetic vinegar in apple cider vinegar is excellent, and it will definitely keep you satiated. And if you say, ooh, I don't like it, use a little bit, dilute it, and just gradually build up over time, even if it's up to a tablespoon in a big glass of water. The next thing I would tell you, that if you really want to lose weight, you need to make sure you're getting your probiotics. I did a great video on prebiotics versus probiotics. You can search it on my channel. Those probiotics is your microbiome. That sustains the wealth and health of your entire system. If you want your metabolic rate to increase, you need to have good bacteria within your colon. That's going to really strengthen your immune system. It's going to affect your brain, your clarity, your hormones. It does amazing things. You got to look at the gut as like a second brain, because it is. It's that important. And last, I will tell you this. One of my favorites to help increase metabolic rate is green tea. Green tea, matcha tea. The green tea has a catechins, great antioxidants. It will kick up and fire up your metabolism. I also love cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper, sprinkling in your food, will speed up your metabolism. There's a lot of tricks. And believe it or not, the last thing I'm going to tell you, and probably the most important thing, if you really want to lose that weight, you must, and it's so easy, hydrate with lots of water. Why? Because all your metabolic processes in your body require water. Our body is made up of 70% water, and we're not supplying it with what it needs. So make sure you're getting lots of fluids, and you will see great changes. Now, if you feel distended, you feel bloated, most likely that's water weight. But guess what? When you start drinking that water, that distension, that retention, that bloating that you're experiencing is going to go away instantly. So when you start doing the right things, that extra water weight will burn fast. It will go away. You may lose 5 pounds, 7 pounds, 8 pounds, for some of you, 10 pounds. Okay? But you'll see that once you start doing what I explained to you, and just realize less food in, more output going out. Okay? We're over the threshold of that 3,500 calories. Even if you do it slowly, don't try to be a superhero. Little bits at a time, and you're going to be a winner. I want to thank all of you for hanging in there with me. This was not an easy one for me, but I really wanted to get it together. Why? Because as people are watching it now, this is on my channel because the value of this information is so important. And I really believe that if you just understand the basics, just the basics of 101, the nuts and bolts of fat burning, you will be a winner. You cannot fail. You will not fail if you do the right thing. Just start doing your homework, stay proactive, and continue, okay? Just continue to hang in there, because losing weight is not easy, especially with this pandemic, especially with stresses that we live with every day, things we have to face, have a hard time cooking our own foods because maybe we work 2 or 3 jobs. I understand. But the bottom line is just be blessed every day and just keep your eyes forward. You're going to get through all those obstacles because I know you can do it. God bless you. God bless everyone. And we'll catch you real soon in our next video. Bye-bye now.